What up, everybody? Welcome back to Nate's Garage and Bakery. We're going to get us some nice, sweet Y-axis action on this video here today. Check it, baby. Let's get started. Alright, so the next part of this, step 3 in the instructions, is to put the sliding rods on for one of the axes. That requires you to use these pieces, or at least some of them, these little acrylic cutout pieces. Now, since some of these actually still have, I don't know how they cut these things out, whether it be a laser process or what. That one just popped out of there because I put pressure on it, or what, but the knockouts are still in there. So what you're going to have to do is get in here, use one of your Allen wrenches they give you, as long as it's small enough to fit through the hole, and punch out any of them that are left in the thing. Well, good grief. Assuming that it's that, man, that one was terribly easy, and now the rest of these are going to be a pain in the ass. So, anyway, knock out all these blanks, and you can see that there's paper on here. That's just protective paper, protective adhesive for these parts, so that when you're ready to use them, you just you just peel that junk off, and now you got a nice shiny acrylic part. Again, that's just plexiglass, only this is blaxiglass. So anyway, go ahead and punch all those holes out. Fast forward. So now we got all those punched out and so forth. It looks like some of them may have little chips in there, like so. Now, for this next step here, we are going to use only some of these for now, and that is these parts right here, the little stubby L's, if you want to call them that, whatever. So we're going to use 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, which actually is all of them. And we're also going to use 4 of these little dudes right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, those little 4. Everything else we'll put aside for now. We're also going to use 2 groups of 2 M5x12s and these little rail nuts again. So 4 of these again with the M5x12s. 4, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I think we're probably going to use 8 of these, if I am correct, but I'll get out 4 for now. I am following the instructions as written, so I won't get ahead of myself. I'm trying to be good. Whatever. So, what they want you to do, these things are going to go here, where the L here is the opening is facing the actual opening. Same way these up in the front here are going to go this way. So we're going to do that for this side, and then do the same thing over here on this side with the other 2. Okay, so that's the plan here. So we do that. Well, you know, I said this way, and what I meant really was this way, because the 2 same size holes there. So either way, with the cutout facing the front edge or the back edge or the front edge, however this thing's going to be turned in the end, it doesn't really matter. But we're going to thread a couple of these on there. Now, these don't compress like the rubber stoppers do, so careful how far you thread these on there. Like so, and I believe Whoops. I'm actually wrong here. I believe these are just supposed to go with the far extents. Now, where I was wrong is that actually these go on the short end. The short ends, not the long ends, so pardon-moi. The short ends. Get my whatchamahoozer out here again. That caught nicely. This did not, did it? Yes, it did. Alright, so yeah, and this is where, like I said, we're going to need 8 of these, not just 4 of these, just so you know, because this is enough for one side, and you do the other side the same way. Like so. And we will stick that puppy right in there. Oh, baby. I'm not going to crank on these because it is just acrylic plexiglass. I mean, plexiglass isn't supposed to break if you know, throw a rock at it or something, but if you crank down on it with a bolt, yeah, it's gonna crack or something. So be careful. Let me get another 4 of these out. There we go with that. Now we've got those in there. Now, how this is going to go, the next part requires 4 M3x20s, which are the little dudes here. Little as in little around, but long. Little, yeah. So for those and 4 M3 nuts. These nuts. I already used that one, so I can't keep saying that. Alright, so 4 of those. We also need box type linear bearings, 3 pieces. These would be the box type linear bearings, the slides as I call them. Linear bearings, slides, whatever you want to call them, that's what these are. Oh, hey, there's actually a bearing in there, I guess. Or something. There's little ball bearings lining, there's one on each side. There. There's a strip of ball bearings in there. That's what these rods are going to slide back and forth on. So we need 3 of these things right now. And we also need the 8. That doesn't make sense. Oh, 8x410. Okay, so we need the 2 of the 410 millimeter smooth rods. These are going to go through here like so. And so now, at this point, we start getting asymmetrical. So one of these goes on one of these. One of these goes on one of these. I'm trying to figure out how. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, it twists a little bit, but once it's screwed down to something, it's going to be nice and tight. So one goes on one of them, and 2 of them go on the other one. So here's where we start getting a little different. And then what happens is you put it through the other side here. Now, how you keep those rods in place is with these little dudes. These are basically caps for the end of these to make sure that the rod doesn't come out. You put one here and you put one here and you do it on both of those and voila. So how that's meant to happen is that, first of all, find the hex head or the Allen key that's going to fit that. I'm going to guess it's this one. I was wrong. How about that bigger one there? Okay, so there's the hex key I'm going to use for that one. And all you do is put it right through there. Put a nut on it. They don't give you a little set of pliers, do they? So I mean, this doesn't have to be on there that tight. All it's doing is keeping that from popping out, so we're good to go there. Same difference on this one. Other side. There we go. We've got our linear slides. They wiggle a little bit, but like I said, once we have something attached to that, they will be all nice. They all slide perfectly nicely. Alright, the next thing we are going to do here, and I think I'm on step 7 now in the instructions. I probably skipped a few since I told you last. But we're going to use this part of our little acrylic frame. These little dudes right here do that right there. Makes a little stand, and then the bearing goes in there and holds in place, and this screws into somewhere on here. We'll figure that out in a second. So, what we use is M3 by 16s to fasten this into place. Now, this is getting a little tricky here, and I'll show you. So M3 by 16s. We need 2 of these. And 2 M3 nuts. Alright, so the way this is going to work, let's do one of these at a time. This comes up to the bottom here, and that nut is going to be in that little slot right there. So what I want to go ahead and do is kind of just put that little nut in there just like that, and then be careful it doesn't fall out. Place that there, and then shoot that right up through the hole there, and there we go, I believe. Now, that's not cut out in such a way, apparently. Well, we'll see here in a second. It's that same, yeah, anyway. Okay, so I guess, yeah, it's cut out to where it'll hold that nut in place while you tighten it down. Again, there's no need to go crazy with the torque there. I'm going to make sure it's nice and tight. Maybe that compresses the acrylic just a little bit to act as a lock. Now, what I'm seeing here is that angle... Oh man, I'm out of frame like a mother. I'm seeing here is that this angle, let's do this angle is not quite square up and down. Now I'm not sure how much of a deal that's going to be. Maybe I tighten it too much, I don't know. You know what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to put this together loosely. And then here in a second I'm going to tighten these up. Once I have the other part in place, and that will somewhat remedy the problem. So, the other nut in there. I'm trying to keep this in the frame here. There we go. So, again, I'm doing this loosely, but attached. There we go. That there, and that there. Now what you do is you get your little 608 bearing, and we're going to use that one great big M8 nut. Hopefully that's the only one we need, because that's the only one they gave us in this package. So we got that dude right there, and its corresponding nut. And what we're going to do is put that bearing in place like so. It is generally in the middle position, and it needn't lock at first. While fixing the belt, it will be locked after some adjustment. Okay, so basically what they're telling us here is that this is the belt tensioner. I don't know. The belt's going to come around here and use this as a bearing. So what you do not want to do is clamp this mug down right here to where it grabs onto the outer race of this bearing and doesn't allow it to turn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what I'm thinking might have to happen is that there is some Loctite applied to this, because this is not a locking nut, and you can't crank it down, because if you do, that don't turn. Well, what they're saying is, attach this, don't make it all tight and everything now, attach this, and you won't have to make it that tight because it'll tighten itself. I have a doubt, Mr. President. Fifth element there, by the way. Tiny Zeus Lister is the president. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is going ahead and tightening these down because they actually tended to come out. So if I tighten them down, wow, one of these things is very terribly out of spec. Either that screw or this Allen wrench is not. I think it's an Allen wrench, I'll be honest with you. Okay, so we put those in there like that. Oh, now that's nice. That's actually nice and, well, it was. Yeah, so I've got some turn in that. The way they have this oriented is these two dudes back here and this dude up here. It doesn't matter where they are on the slide, but this is going to go up here, okay? And we're going to do that with those same little T-nuts. So what do we got? The M5 by, how long are they supposed to be? 12s again, I suppose. It's the same. Two of these. And two of these. Now, you see how I'm opening these? I learned this trick somewhere. I don't remember where. If you just go like this and zip, it'll just tear them right apart. It's the most amazing thing that I've ever learned with regard to zip bags like this. Yeah, buddy. So now, same deal with these doohickeys. Stick that monkey on there like so. Stick that monkey on there like so. And now this goes on here something now. What I'm noticing, and I don't know if this is because I tighten these down to some extent or because of something else. I think probably because I tighten those down and then I tighten this down. This is bowed. So it's not straight across here, it's bowed like this, which makes it really hard for this to actually get in there. So what I'm going to do is actually, I think this is probably what they're trying to say in broken Chun English, that if you loosen this bearing, or just don't put it in there yet, one of the two, loosen it, because that's what's actually bowing this out. I tighten these down, and then I tighten that in there, and that's making this bow. So now that I have this loosened back up again, much straighter. That is not the right, there we go, the Allen key. Allen wrenches, that's actually, it's like Kleenex, isn't it? Call them Allen wrenches, it's because the company name was Allen that made those. There we go. Now, I don't know where exactly this is supposed to go on this rail, so I'm going to just tighten them for now so they don't go anywhere. Let's see if it says anywhere. It is generally in the middle position. I think what that means is roughly centered between these two things is where this is supposed to be. Generally in the middle position. I believe that's what that translates to. And it needn't lock at first. So I believe what that means is that you don't have to crank these all the way tight. We're probably going to have to adjust it later anyway. While fixing the belt, it will be locked after some adjustments. So actually put the belt on there, we'll figure out where exactly it needs to be. I'll leave it on there so it doesn't move around or fall out of place or something. That was step 7, 8, 9. I don't know. I keep going through steps here without telling you which one I'm on. That was step 9 to get that thing in place.
Well, that's it for this episode on Nate's Garage and Bakery. Did you get this far? Did you like what you saw? Go ahead on and click that subscribe button for future videos. Hell, click the like button while you're at it. Leave a comment if you got questions. I'll try to answer. Later.